Hey, what's up, you guys? Caboose XBL bringing you another Batman Arkham Knight video, and it is another episode of the weekly Q&A. Yes, we have another one this week, and it's another round of great questions. I picked out another 5, and yeah, let's just get right into it, starting with question number 1, coming from Carson S. And he says, question, I feel that Azrael and Hush are practically confirmed for this game since Arkham City set them up so well, but we haven't heard anything about them. So, how major do you think their separate roles in the story will be, and do you think Rocksteady is purposely avoiding talking about them to get people to forget? Now, that's actually a pretty good question. I don't know if Rocksteady's trying to get people to kind of forget about these characters, because as big fans as we all are of the Batman games, we've analyzed them up and down from head to toe, so we will never forget about these characters, especially Azrael. Azrael, I feel, will not just be summarized in a side mission. I think if his character were to be in Arkham Knight, he's going to have a very major role, or maybe like a role that's such a pivotal point in the story, you know, where like maybe he has like a cameo, but it's such a big point in the story where it you know, gives Batman an idea or something like that. But I do think Azrael, sorry, I was about to say Arkham Knight, but I do think Azrael will have a major part in the story. Hush, however, I think his story is going to continue in another side mission. He is a great villain, don't get me wrong. The storyline of Hush in the comic books is a really amazing read, but I don't think that Rocksteady really intended to make him this huge main villain when they made him a side mission in Arkham City. I think they just wanted to kind of leave his character remaining on a smaller scale, because when you become a main villain, especially in Arkham Knight, there's something major that you must be doing. Like Scarecrow, obviously he is the main villain. He's trying to gas the entire city. Arkham Knight, he's trying to kill Batman, and it seems like he is one of the villains that's come close to it. And then we have Penguin, who's still an arms dealer really, and Two-Face, who I don't really know if we have too much details on his role, other than the fact he's practically partnered up with Penguin. And then of course Harley Quinn, who's going to play a major role because of how much focus there was on, you know, her pain from losing the Joker in the Harley Quinn's Revenge DLC. So yeah, like when you're a main villain in Arkham Knight, you have this major role, and there's like something big that you're doing, something that is, you know, allowing the plot of the story to move forward. And I don't think that Rocksteady wants Hush to be that character necessarily. The side missions in Arkham City were all incredible and interesting and very in-depth, so I think him being another side mission won't like hinder the character or won't cause people to say that he wasn't done justice. I think that if he is a side mission, he will be done justice. But yes, Azrael, I do believe, will be a part of the main story, and Hush, I think, will be another side mission. Moving on to the next question, coming from, hold on, let me open it up here, Pisquati. This is I know him. He's been in the live stream a couple times, and I've seen his comments a lot, and he asks, Caboose, do you think Batman will break his not killing rule at any point in the game? Do you even think he kills people when he shoots with the humongous tank form of the Batmobile? Now, this is a very interesting question. The second part of the question is very easy to answer. The first part of the question could be tough. This is the last Batman game that Rocksteady says they're going to make, and who knows? Who knows what could happen? I mean, I doubt he's going to kill. Batman has really strained himself from trying to kill anybody in previous Arkham games and in millions of comics. So I doubt he will kill in this game. Maybe he'll be like so close to the brink of it when it comes to his final confrontation with Arkham Knight or whatever it may be. Maybe he almost kills the Arkham Knight and then he finally sees his identity or who he is, and that kind of makes him stop and realize what he was doing. Like if he was beating on him and he was like, oh my god, it's Alfred. I don't know, something like that. But to answer your second part of your question, do I think that he kills people when he shoots people with like the Batmobile and stuff? See, the thing about Batman is we know, because we read and we are put inside the mind of Bruce Wayne, we know that his rule is not killing. certain villains know that too. Like obviously Joker has kind of known that, and other villains that are closer to Batman know that. But common thugs are so terrified of him because they don't know that. When Batman holds a thug over a building, they don't know that he has this rule where he can't kill people, or he doesn't want to kill people. That's why those thugs are so terrified, because they truly believe that when Batman holds them over an edge, that they're going to be dropped if they don't comply. And that's why with the Batmobile, there has to be some sort of missiles, because as you saw in The Dark Knight, and I think a lot of people look over this, there is a part where it's inside the Batmobile, and then it says intimidate, and it shoots rockets, but behind all the thugs, and it's again used as an intimidation to scare these thugs, that to show that Batman is a force to be reckoned with, and to give off the idea that he will kill you by all means necessary. So I don't think that he kills people when he shoots them with rockets. I'm pretty sure if you can shoot any thugs, you use the riot suppressor gun on the Batmobile, which is non-lethal bullets at the end of the day. So yeah, that's at least I think the extent of it when it comes to the Batmobile itself. But good question nonetheless. I really did want to go over that and explain my thoughts on that. So thanks. Moving on to the next question, coming from Raymond Olivas, and he says question. Question. Sorry, I thought there was an S on the end there. I'm dyslexic. But anyways, he goes, after the events in Arkham City and her DLC story, do you think Harley Quinn would actually be more of a bigger threat like Joker was in past games, since she may be out for a need for revenge after killing her puddin'? That sounded so weird to say. But anyways, he continues on saying, also, I'd love to see a huge and colorful cast of villains like in Arkham City, with lots of side missions, unlike Arkham Origins, a big city with nothing to do. Now, I do agree with the second part of your question. We'll go further on that in the last question of today, which is a very good one. But yes, to answer the first part of your question, after such focus on Harley Quinn in Arkham City and in her DLC story, do I think that she's going to be more of a bigger threat? Yeah, no, I definitely do, especially because we're going to be able to play as her. Obviously, she's got to have learned some form of martial arts or have like a much more advanced fighting style to be playable, because she did flips and shit, but every time she tried to even attempt to get close to Batman would just flick her or sneeze on her and she'd just fall over, So I'm sure that within the 1 year between Arkham City and now Arkham Knight, that she has had some sort of training. Who knows where she got that training? I don't really know if I can speculate on it. But yeah, I do think that she did get some sort of training within that year, and she is really good at fighting now, and that obviously would make her more of a bigger threat because she kind of has the mind of the Joker. Obviously, she can't really psychologically battle Batman the way the Joker does, but she has like that mindset, and now she'll probably have a general outlook at how to fight and how to punch people and whatnot. Then yeah, she'll be a bigger threat in Arkham Knight, and I think we're gonna see her maybe rough up Batman in a fight. Like Batman's gonna expect a lot less out of her again. Like maybe she'll be flipping towards Batman, and Batman's like, what's she gonna do? Like, who cares? And surprisingly, she like gets a couple hits on him or something. I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen when the game comes out, but that is my thoughts on that. Great question, by the way. Moving on to the last question of today. The second last question of today, and it comes from Silent Knight, and he asks, which side missions would you like to see in Arkham Knight? He goes to list off his own ideas on his side missions that he'd like to see, which are some great ideas. Batman saving people from burning buildings, finding missing persons, and stopping robberies. They're all great ideas for side missions. But see, I find those to be little petty crimes. I think the side missions and then petty crimes are going to be kind of two different things. I think we will get petty crimes like that, like stopping robberies or car chases and things. But in terms of side missions, it's really a whole nother story. So when it comes to side missions, as I mentioned earlier, I would love to see another new Hush side mission continuing that story between Batman and Hush, or maybe You know, it could be Hush and I don't really know actually. I don't know what I'm talking about, but like Hush, definitely I want to see him in the side missions. You know, there could be other characters like Man Bat. You can have you know, Killer Moth was mentioned previous Arkham games, and he was an Easter egg in Assault on Arkham. And yeah, there's so many characters in the Batman mythos. Maxie Zeus, that could be a really cool one. That like it would really take the characters in Batman's Rogue Gallery for a spin, especially of the characters that we've already seen. It would be such a new, fresh addition to them. Maybe even like a mini side mission with Red Hood. I don't know. The possibilities are endless with side missions, but that's where you guys can come in. What side missions would you guys like to see? Let me know in the comment section below. Moving on to the last question of the day. This is actually the last question, and this comes from Hawkstron, and he says, question, would you like to see other playable characters have their own vehicles? It'd be pretty cool to play as Red Hood riding on a motorcycle, and maybe Harley Quinn's monster truck. Now, I wanted to address this question for the simple fact that our DLC characters going to get vehicles, because this is very interesting, because one of the big things of Arkham Knight, of course, is that Batman has his Batmobile, and because the map is so huge, you'd want to use the Batmobile majority of the time to get from place to place. So that makes me wonder, with Red Hood having a story pack and being playable, with Harley Quinn having a story pack and being playable, and any other future characters being DLC or being revealed sometime soon, having story packs and DLC challenge maps and stuff, will they have a vehicle to drive around? Like, I can picture Red Hood having like a motorcycle, you know, and driving around, but what about the weaponry? You know, the only person I can really think of that has a cool vehicle of his own and that could work in Arkham Knight is Nightwing, and you'd have, like, you know, the Bat Bike or whatever you call it, the Bat Cycle, I don't know. And that's really the only one I can generally think about. I can't really picture Harley Quinn in a monster truck because it just wouldn't fit in the style. And, you know, maybe she'd be in like a newly painted cop car. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities. But when you think of it, this could mean, like, when you really go in depth with it, this could mean that DLC characters might not have access to free roam in all of the city in Arkham Knight. I don't know. I'm a little worried about that. I mean, in the end of the day, even if they get, like, a portion of the city, each, like, because obviously the map's split up into 3 portions, or to 3 islands, whatever. So if they got access to only one island, then that would still be okay, because the map is huge. So I think it would still be fine, but I don't know. That's very interesting, and you bring up a really good point there, Hawkstron. Thanks for the question. That is it for the Q&A this week. Please make sure to leave more questions for next week's Q&A in the comments section below. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to get your question right here in the video next week. Hope you enjoyed this. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. I'm CaboosXBL. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.